What if one company could, like, single-handedly redefine not just one, but multiple industries in under 2 decades?
It's pretty wild, right?
It really does. But that's basically the story of Tesla, a company that's done just that in its remarkable 17 years from about 2008 to 2025.
Yeah.
So today, we're taking a deep dive into Tesla's extraordinary journey. We'll try to dissect its tech breakthroughs, financial milestones, strategic pivots, the whole thing. Our mission is really to give you a clear understanding of its huge impact, where it stands now in the market, and the critical challenges and opportunities ahead.
And it's all backed by verified data up to, what, August 2025?
That's right, up to August 2025.
It's just such a compelling story because Tesla isn't just an automaker, is it?
Not at all.
It's this force that's completely reshaped how we think about electric vehicles, AI, energy solutions. I mean, it's huge.
Right. It's a story of continuous transformation, relentless innovation, and just constantly pushing boundaries.
Right, from those pretty unconventional beginnings.
Okay, let's unpack those unconventional beginnings. Because, yeah, they're often misunderstood. The company started back in 2003, Martin Eberhard, Mark Tarpenning. But it's really from 2008, with Elon Musk taking the helm, that Tesla, properly burst onto the global scene. And that first big splash was the Roadster.
Ah, the Roadster.
Now, why was that car such a huge statement back then? What did it actually prove?
Well, you've really hit on a key point there. Before the Roadster, the general thinking was that electric cars were, well, they were basically glorified golf carts.
Hello, kind of ugly.
Exactly. Slow, unappealing, definitely limited in range. The Roadster just shattered that perception almost overnight. It was fast,
Right.
It was sexy, and it proved an EV could be a genuinely desirable high-performance vehicle.
And the range was decent for the time, too.
Yeah, around 394 kilometers. So it wasn't just a car, it was like a psychological breakthrough. It totally rebranded electric mobility.
But that breakthrough, that initial splash, it really hid some incredibly precarious times for Tesla, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Because despite the cool car, this period was no smooth ride. They were on a real financial tightrope, weren't they?
Totally. Struggling big time just to scale production and, frankly, just stay afloat.
It's kind of wild to think about that now, looking at them today.
It really is.
Then came that really pivotal moment in 2010. They went public. IPO at $17 a share, raised $226 million.
That IPO was absolutely critical. No understatement there. And it really set the stage for the next era, 2011 to 2015. That's when Tesla truly started laying the foundational blocks for its disruption.
Okay.
The launch of the Model S in 2012, for instance, that was a genuine turning point. A luxury electric sedan that was more than just another car. It was a paradigm shift.
How so? What made the Model S such a game changer, beyond just, range and design?
Well, it was the whole package, really. It offered up to, 426 kilometers of range, which was great. But it was also this sleek, innovative design. It won awards like Car of the Year.
Right.
It basically proved that an EV could not only compete with traditional luxury sedans, but actually surpass them. In performance, tech, desirability, it showed a path to mainstream luxury adoption. And they didn't stop there, did they?
No, 2015, the Model X.
The Model X, yeah. Those unique gull-wing doors.
Iconic now.
Definitely. And advanced features, including their very early autonomous driving capabilities, kind of the first glimpse of that future.
But the cars themselves, they were only one piece of the puzzle during this time, right?
Absolutely.
Because to really make EVs work, especially for long distances, you need the infrastructure. You need charging.
Exactly. You nailed it. This period also saw Tesla start building out its global supercharger network.
Which was huge.
Huge. And this wasn't just a convenience, it was a strategic masterstroke. It directly tackled that core range anxiety problem that plagued early EV adoption.
Made long trips possible.
For many people, this network was the true enabler of long-distance electric travel. Though you could argue it created a bit of a walled garden too, couldn't you?
Interesting point. How so?
Well, it's sort of limited choice for early adopters. It was basically Tesla or bust for easy long-distance charging. Was that a calculated risk or maybe just a necessary evil back then, given how little public charging existed?
That's a really good question. The strategic advantage versus, potential limitations. But okay, with the infrastructure starting to take shape, the next logical step was volume, right? Go big.
Precisely.
And that's exactly what we saw from 2016 onwards. Tesla set its sights on making EVs truly mainstream, focusing on mass scale with the Model 3.
The big one.
Launched in 2017, aiming for that incredibly ambitious goal. democratizing EVs with a base price of, what was it, $35,000?
$35,000. But that ambition came with some serious growing pains.
Oh, yeah?
Tesla famously went through what Elon Musk himself called production hell.
Right, production hell.
They faced serious, very public problems scaling up manufacturing to meet the just overwhelming demand for the Model 3.
They certainly did. And that hell became almost legendary. For a while there, it felt like the whole company's future was riding on getting those Model 3s out the door.
It really did.
But somehow, by 2019, they'd largely overcome those difficulties. They really ramped up production. And that paved the way for something huge, opening their first gigafactory in Shanghai, China.
Game changer.
Totally. Gave them crucial access to the Asian market, massively expanded their global footprint, and beyond just cars, they started properly diversifying into energy solutions too, right? Acquiring Solar City.
Solar City. And integrating products like Powerwall and PowerPack.
So this wasn't just buying another company, was it? It felt like a bigger strategic play.
Absolutely. It highlighted their broader vision, this fully integrated, sustainable energy ecosystem, not just cars, but how you power them, how you power your home.
Right.
And then the period from 2020 to 2022, that saw truly exponential growth and entirely new frontiers for Tesla.
Yeah, the pandemic year, 2020. Quite unexpectedly, it seemed to accelerate EV adoption globally.
It really did. And Tesla was just perfectly positioned to capitalize on that trend.
Which led to this massive financial ascendancy. In 2020, Tesla's market cap just exploded, surpassed $800 billion.
Incredible number.
Now, that wasn't just a big number, was it? What did that unprecedented valuation really signify about how the market saw Tesla's potential compared to, say, the traditional automakers?
Well, that $800 billion wasn't just a number. It was basically the market reclassifying Tesla completely. Investors weren't just valuing it as a car company anymore.
Right.
They were seeing it as a tech giant, a battery powerhouse, an AI innovator. It was a clear signal the market was buying into their whole multifaceted vision, not just how many cars they sold.
So the old guard really had to sit up and take notice then.
Oh, yeah. That was the moment the paradigm truly shifted. And on the product side, another vehicle, the Model Y.
The compact SUV.
Launched in 2020, yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly became a global bestseller. Huge success.
And at the same time, they were pushing hard on the AI front.
Aggressively. Significant progress with their Dojo supercomputer, continued advances with full self-driving, or FSD.
But FSD, that's also been met with its fair share of controversy and criticism, hasn't it?
Indeed. While FSD keeps evolving, it's been a really hotly debated area. You've got criticisms ranging from things like phantom braking incidents to just fundamental questions about its readiness for unsupervised driving, especially in complex city environments.
Which leads to regulations and safety concerns.
Exactly. Understandably, it's led to ongoing regulatory scrutiny and a very public, very necessary discussion about the safety and actual capabilities of these autonomous driving systems.
Okay, so that brings us more or less up to the present. 2023 to 2025, a time marked by, well, more innovation, but also intensely growing competition.
Definitely feeling the heat now.
In 2023, we finally saw the launch of the Cybertruck. Very long-awaited, very futuristic, generated massive anticipation with that. Unique design.
Unique is one word for it.
And they kept expanding manufacturing power. Right?
Yeah.
New gigafactories in Texas and Berlin.
Yep. Not just about adding more factories, though. It was about solidifying that global production capacity, bringing manufacturing closer to key markets like Europe and the U.S. heartland.
And in 2024, something maybe less flashy but really critical, advancements in their 4680 batteries.
Ah, yes, the 4680s, super important. This wasn't just a small step. It was about promising significantly higher energy density.
More range.
More range, and crucially, lower production costs. Laying the groundwork for potentially more affordable, longer-range EVs down the line. That's the dream, anyway.
What's really fascinating now, I think, is their expansion beyond vehicles and energy. We're seeing serious moves into robotics with the Tesla bot, Optimus.
Optimus, yeah. Still early days, but the ambition is huge.
And strengthening their energy storage division with Megapack for like utility scale projects.
Right, moving into grid-level solutions. But as they expand into all these areas, you can really feel that competitive landscape sharpening, can't you?
Oh, yeah. Manufacturers like BYD, Rivian.
BYD especially, a huge competitor. Rivian in the U.S. truck SUV space.
And the traditional giants, Volkswagen, GM, Ford, they're all really intensifying their EV efforts now, putting real pressure on Tesla's long-held dominance.
That increased pressure is exactly why understanding Tesla's financial reality right now is so critical. And again, all the data we're using here is verified up to August 3rd, 2025.
Okay, so The stock price, TSLA, quite a ride.
The roller coaster is putting it mildly. From just $1.63 per share, adjusted for splits, post-IPO in 2010.
Wow, $1.63.
It soared to $270.53 in 2020, hit a peak annual price of $400.28 in 2024.
And as of August 3rd, 2025.
It stands at $302.63 per share, market cap around $976.1 billion, still massive.
Nearly $1 trillion. So let's get into that valuation debate.
Yeah.
Because you see a PE ratio that's historically been very high, and traditional investors often screen overvalued.
Right, the classic argument.
But what's the counter argument? What keeps smart money invested even with all this volatility we see?
All right.
Exactly. The high PE isn't just a number based on current car sales. It's a reflection, really, of Tesla being valued not just for what it is today, mostly a car company, but for what it could be tomorrow.
The future potential.
The future potential. A robotics firm, an AI leader, maybe even an energy utility of sorts. Investors aren't just buying car sales figures. They're buying into that future vision, the potential for exponential growth across multiple sectors.
Even if it comes with higher risk and leads to that volatility?
Precisely. Like it's one-year range, $182 to $488.54. Huge swings. Even in the last month alone, it fluctuated between $295.60 and $333.30, showing a bit of a downward trend from its July 22nd peak, actually. Closed August 1st at $302.63.
Okay. And in terms of actual business performance, deliveries, revenue.
The numbers tell us that in 2024, Tesla reported about $96.8 billion in revenue. That was a solid 15% increase from 2023.
Driven by delivery.
Driven by 1.81 million vehicle deliveries. For 2025, though, expectations are more for moderate growth, partly market stabilization, and partly, of course, that increasing competition.
Right. Makes sense. Now, beyond just the cars and the financials, Tesla's cultivated this much broader technological footprint that really defines its identity, hasn't it?
It really has. Their vehicle models, the S3, XY, Cybertruck, they've consistently set benchmarks for autonomy, performance, design.
And the batteries, the 4680s.
Especially with the 4680 batteries kind of leading the charge on innovation there.
And their autonomous driving work, the full self-driving system, it keeps evolving, supported by that powerful Dojo supercomputer.
It's a testament to their ambition, definitely, even with all the ongoing regulatory hurdles and safety questions they still face.
Yeah, those are significant.
But it's crucial to remember it's not just about cars and software. Tesla has really cemented itself as a major player in renewable energy.
The Powerwall, PowerPack.
Powerwall for homes, PowerPack, and now Megapack for utility scale. These highlight their critical role in energy storage, really contributing directly to the transition towards sustainable power grids globally.
And you can't overlook that overarching ambition reflected in the AI and robotics work, Dojo, Optimus.
Yeah, these initiatives really underscore their commitment to leading in broader automation, artificial intelligence. It hints at a future way beyond just transportation.
Okay, so looking at the big picture then. The EV market overall has seen huge growth, driven by regulations, subsidies.
Yeah, massive tailwinds. And Tesla still holds some key competitive advantages, right? That huge supercharger network,
Still a big moat.
cutting-edge battery tech, leadership in AI.
But that competitive gap is narrowing. You said it before.
Undeniably, we're seeing major global competitors really stepping up. BYD from China,
Huge.
Rivian from the US, NIO also from China. And the traditional giants, VW, Toyota, GM, they're all intensifying their EV efforts significantly. The pressure is on.
And while EV demand generally continues to grow, there are potential risks too, right? Like market saturation in some places, dependence on government incentives.
Exactly. Those are real factors. Market saturation in mature EV markets like Norway or parts of California could become an issue. And yeah, reliance on subsidies is always a risk if governments pull back support.
So when we look at the road ahead, what are the absolute critical challenges Tesla faces? You mentioned 5.
Yeah, I think we can boil it down to 5 key areas. First, just that intensified competition. Maintaining their lead against rivals, offering increasingly good and sometimes more affordable EVs, especially from players like BYD and Rivian. That's challenge number 1.
Okay. Number 2.
Regulatory compliance. Navigating this complex, shifting web of stringent regulations around autonomous driving, emissions, safety, in key markets like the EU, the US, China, that's going to be absolutely crucial for continued growth. Messing that up could be costly.
Right. Third challenge.
Scalability and cost reduction. It's kind of the eternal challenge for manufacturing, but especially important here. They have to keep driving down production costs, particularly for batteries, to maintain competitive pricing as the market gets more crowded. Affordability is key for mass adoption.
Makes sense. Fourth,
Public perception management. This is maybe a bit softer, but really important. It includes needing to carefully manage the ongoing controversies around FSD safety. And also, frankly, the sometimes controversial public statements of Elon Musk himself. Both of those things can significantly impact investor confidence and consumer confidence, too.
yeah, the Musk factor is always there.
Yeah.
Okay, and the fifth challenge.
Continuous innovation sounds obvious, but the pressure is immense. They can't rest on their laurels. They need to keep innovating relentlessly in areas like the Tesla bot, next-gen batteries, software manufacturing, just to stay at the absolute forefront of the industry they basically created. Complacency is death in tech.
So, to kind of wrap things up, Tesla's journey from this near-bankrupt startup to one of the most valuable and influential companies globally in just 17 years. It's truly remarkable.
Absolutely staggering, really.
Its transformative impact across automotive, energy, AI, it's just undeniable.
And I think that core tension we talked about is really key to understanding them now. This relentless drive for innovation constantly clashing with the inherent volatility of its stock price, and now more than ever, the escalating competition it faces from literally all sides.
Which leaves us, and you, the listener, with this final thought to maybe ponder. Given Tesla's really remarkable history of overcoming huge challenges, production hell, near financial collapse, can its continued drive for innovation truly shield it from this increasingly crowded market and the complex regulatory landscape?
Right.
Or maybe could its sheer size and complexity now become its greatest hurdle to rapid transformation going forward?
That's the billion, or rather, trillion-dollar question, isn't it?